but I did say earlier on that we have our reporters across the country scattered and looking at how the national shutdown is progressing. But now let's cross to Limpopo, where SABC News reporter Mahlako Komane is standing by in Polokwane. Good afternoon, Mahlako. What's the latest in Polokwane? All right, it looks like Mahlako cannot hear us right now, and we're seeing if we can get another colleague to see if Aphumelele Mdlalane is also monitoring the impact of the march, and she is in Bloemfontein. Let's find out from her how the Bloemfontein leg of the national shutdown is happening. It seems like Aphumelele is also not ready. Our colleagues are working really hard to make sure that they give us the latest. So far, the memorandum of demands has been handed to Cape Town, or to rather Pretoria, I beg your pardon. It has been happening in Pretoria, where my colleague Mbalenhle Mthethwa is, and in Durban, Jade Paulser is also there, and Aphumelele is in Bloemfontein. Bongile Yankees is in Bisho. We have our colleagues who are out there. Remember, this national shutdown is being done by COSATU as well as FEDUSA in aid of the workers because of the cost of living that has been going up. Just this morning, we saw SABC releasing the latest inflation figures that has jumped to 7.8%, which means that the cost of goods, the cost of transport is going up. Let's try again with Mahlako, who is in Limpopo, to see if she's ready. Mahlako, good afternoon once again. How is it progressing in Polokwane? Has the memorandum of demands been delivered there?
Yes, good afternoon indeed to you. You're quite correct here. The last memorandum, there were 3 deliveries here that took place. There was one that took place at Eskom. There was one that took place at the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, and the last one took place at the Premier's office. This afternoon, where we saw COSATU joined by leaders, of the ANC as well of the SACP was also here out, to join this march of workers, as they say, saying that the cost of living in this country is just getting unattainable. And the demands of the workers not necessarily being met. The issues that were spoken about was the issues of the retrenchments that we saw happening, issues of salaries that have remained stagnant, bargaining councils that seemingly are not doing what they need to do, I suppose, in regards of workers being able to get those increases. But let me maybe just move out of this shot and just show you what this has meant, this march has meant for Polokwane today. Some parts of Polokwane, this is normally quite a busy street. This is downtown Polokwane, but a lot of businesses opting to shut down for the day on the basis of, I suppose, the march. Some not for security and safety reasons. A lot of shops having had to shut down their doors for the day. We also did see the turnout. Let's talk about the turnout of marching here in Polokwane today. A lot of workers did come out. We also saw, SABC members also out, that being a teacher union. We understand from the provincial education authority saying that this has not really disrupted learning and teaching continues. They've applied a no work, no pay principle. At the end of the day, which is today, they're going to be collating that information from principals to see who was at work and who was not at work and act accordingly, as they say. But also, in terms of the security that we saw, parts of the streets as they were marching being closed down so that they're able to facilitate, that march. But for the most part of it, which we were part of, the march seemed like, I suppose, quite successful. But we are going to be going back to the Premier's office just to get those visuals and get an idea of the handing over of that memorandum, as well as if they feel as COSATU that it has been a successful event for the day. Back to you, Diab.
Mahlako, I'm seeing that, from the visuals that I see behind you, that obviously we cannot, we cannot see that. What can you tell us about if there were incidents maybe of violence? Did people feel threatened at any point? And we also will be telling up how much businesses have lost thanks to the national shutdown today.
Yeah, but so far, because you have, as they are marching and they're closing those streets that lead to the particular areas where memorandums were handed in. So as we were trying to move around, we hadn't seen any damage. Like I said, a lot of the shops, about 70% give and take of shops in Polokwane that we had seen driving around were shut. So, but also there hasn't been damage to those business or traders that decided to continue with business. So for the most part of it was very peaceful. We haven't been able to see anything, untoward or anything that looks like, there was violence in terms of those that continued to trade in spite of the call to shut down, I suppose, the country and also this province for the day in support of this particular march, which we're told is in solidarity with workers and ordinary South Africans because of the day-to-day, the food prices that are going up. I suppose the state of the economy,
Yeah, Mahlako Komane, she is in Polokwane in Limpopo, reporting for us there to give us an update on what's happening in that part of the country. We have been doing a round robin across the country to see how the national shutdown has been progressing. And of course, I'm assuming that by tomorrow we'll have analysts and economists who will be able to tally up the cost of shutting down the economy, of course, for a good cause, because South Africans are really battling under the high pressure of prices. Just today, Stats are releasing that inflation up 7.8%, which means that the cost of groceries goes up, the cost of transport has gone up.